Welcome to Richard in the Kitchen. Tonight we're cooking up some fried pork chops, but with a twist. I'm going to show you a way to cook up a fried pork chop that is nothing like you've ever had before in your life. Using, excuse me just a second, a box of Cheez-Its. You all know what these are. You just put these in a bag, chop them up, and you coat those that pork chop with that. Man, I'll tell you what, nothing like it. So let's get started. First off, I'm going to make a marinade, and I'll show you how to do that. What you're going to need for this pork marinade is something I use, and you can use whatever marinade you like. You can buy your own marinade at the store or whatever you want to do, but I like this marinade. You'll want to marinate your chops for about 4 or 5 hours. But what you're going to need to do this is you're going to need some soy sauce, some extra virgin olive oil, even vegetable oil will work, some coarse salt, some coarse pepper, some garlic powder, some dry mustard, and I've got a little fresh cube here of fresh ginger. So what we'll do is we'll put about 1/8 of a cup of olive oil in our pan and some soy sauce, and we'll coat those chops when we get this thing made up. Now, I dropped my garlic powder. Okay, about that much. I guess that's about 1/8 teaspoon of garlic powder. About the same amount of dried mustard. Man, I love these chops. What we're going to do is fry these chops up. Put some salt in there. What this marinade is going to do is really tenderize these pork chops. Pepper in there, and I'll just grate up this ginger. Man, don't ginger smell good? Man, golly, you could almost use that as a perfume or a cologne. I don't know where that came from. Anyway, all right, scrape that off in there. It gives the pork chops a little bit of sweet taste. Take a spoon, mix this up. Man, that smells good. Now let me pull this chop out of the refrigerator, and I'll show you how to drop that in there. You're going to need a plastic bag to drop that chop in. And we'll start this marinade. Time, it's been about 4 or 5 hours in our marinade. I'm going to be cooking about 7 o'clock tonight. So I've let this chop thaw, and it's just a little bitty chop. What I'm going to do is I don't like putting my pork or my meat directly on my board, especially pork. So I just put it on my plastic cutting board. It's a lot easier to clean than any bacteria that's on the steak. Now what I'll do is I'll give this pork a quick wash, and I'll pat it dry with some paper towels, and I'll season it lightly before I put it into the bag of marinade that we just made. Okay, now let's season this pork chop with a little salt. And keep in mind, I put salt in the marinade, so you don't really need to go crazy on this salt. And a little black pepper. Pat it in, flip it, change hands. You don't want to be putting your hands that you handled your pork in your salt and pepper containers. All right. Now, we will pour our marinade into this bag. Man, it smells good. And like I said, you don't need a lot of marinade. You just need it to coat on all sides of the meat that you're doing. Then just kind of give that a good mix. Look at that color on that. Ain't that pretty? All right. Now this will help to flavor and tenderize your pork chop before we cook it later on this afternoon. And like I said, let's marinate this for anywhere from 5 to 6 hours. It'd be all right. All right. Through the miracle of the pause button, this chop has been marinating for about 6 hours, and we're ready to get this thing started. So what you want to do is take your chop that's been marinated in that marinade. You can discard the marinade. You can't use that anymore. And what I'm going to show you is what to do with that before we put it in the oil. Now we got this chop, and what we're going to do is we're going to put it in some flour, coat it really good. And then what we're going to do, get that flour on there, pat it down. Man, this is so good. I tell you what, if you ain't never done this, you need to give it a try. Okay, so what we're going to do is going to put it in a beer bath right here. Any kind of beer will do, your favorite beer. And then, give me a second to wash my hands. And then what we'll do is we will take our, y'all know about these. This is something I do different for fried pork chops. You know, it's kind of boring just to, you can roll it in flour or cornmeal or whatever y'all do to fry pork chops, but this is something I've done many times. Y'all know about these standard cheese crackers. You just kind of take them here in a bag, chop them up really good, and what we're going to do is we're going to drop this pork chop into this bag full of Cheez-Its. And close it up so none of your Cheez-Its comes out. And you just give it a good shake. Coat it really good. This is really good. I guarantee you. Now, once you get that coated with those Cheez-Its really good, what you can do is you can just lay it out there and pour those Cheez-Its right over that, pat it down. Look at that. Man, ain't that pretty? Man, I tell you what, it tastes even better. And what we'll do is we'll drop this in some oil. I've got a Dutch oven over there, preheated at 350 degrees. And it'll take about 6, 7, 8 minutes to fry this chop up. Alright, let's drop it in there. Alright, we've got our chop coated. We're going to stick it in this hot oil and let that thing cook. Woo-wee! I tell you what, you ain't never had this, you're missing something. Comes out golden brown, and what you want to do is cook this till it's about golden brown. It's no different than cooking up your standard pork chop. But with that coating of Cheez-Its on there, man, it gives it a whole different taste. I guarantee you like it. Alright, it's been about 6 or 7 minutes. Let's take this pork chop out of this hot oil. Let all that extra oil drip off. Look at that, look at that. Man, I tell you. Woo, Lord have mercy. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to put this on some foil and let it rest for just a second. You can just leave it on that little chopping board right there and lightly cover it and let it sit for about 5 to 10 minutes and let it continue cooking. And I tell you what, we'll be ready to plate this up and eat. Right, this chop has been setting for about 5 to 7 minutes. Look at that. Look at that beautiful golden brown. Man, I tell you what, that's so good. We're going to serve this up. You can serve it up with whatever side you want, but I'm going to serve it up with some green beans some Italian cut green beans, and some, now this is box macaroni and cheese. Now I'll do another video on how to tell you how to make your box macaroni and cheese just as good, if not better, than the one you make on your own. Now, I have a secret that'll do that, and I'll do another video on that. So let's give this a taste test. We're gonna do the caveman method. Oh, look at that! Look at ain't that pretty? It's hot. Oh my God. I promise you, if you'll do this recipe with those Cheez-Its on your pork chops, your fried pork chops, man, I tell you what, you will make an impression on somebody. But anyway, I'm going to eat and watch the Stanley Cup playoffs. Game 7, Dallas Stars, go Stars. And remember, till next time, always be nice to everybody. Bye, y'all.